Hi guys, Iron Cameraman here. Take a close look at this contract from episode 70. If you play with the lighting a bit, you can see an Astro toilet in the background that we hadn't seen before. You can see red reflections that look like something akin to the Astro UFO helmet. And you can also notice the same kind of halo as the Astro Duchess. You can make out a body and its parts, and something like a core. I think Boom, in this contract, decided for the first time to indirectly show us what one of the main Astro toilets in the series might look like. Judging by his headgear, you can safely say he holds a very important role in the hierarchy. On top of that, I see something like a chain, or a long weapon, like the Duchess has, which could mean this is the Duke himself, in person. Boom told us there are a lot of details in the series that we, the viewers, missed while watching the episodes. Maybe this figure from episode 70 will fully appear already in episode 80. Boom already said that in that episode we'll see a very strong character, and that could easily be the Duke, given that he likes to make symbolic episodes. That would mean that after defeating the main villain of the Skibidi arc, the Scientist, the Alliance ran into a new enemy of the Astro arc, the Duke, who was very carefully shown back in episode 70. Plus, from the spoiler that Boom showed for the new episode, you can assume that Speakerman base will be exposed, like it happened with the TV men because of a tracking device. And the mothership will come there, where it will meet a very interesting duo who won't give up that base just like that. And what duo that is, I'll tell you further in this video. So grab something tasty, and I'll get started. The Duke appearing in episode 80 looks completely logical. Right now we see that the Astro toilets have been messing with the Alliance for too long. Moreover, from Boom's latest reply, we learned they don't even know how much the Alliance has leveled up and how strong they are, because the agents are waging a guerrilla war, which in their situation is the only option. Only part of the Astro fleet came to Earth, not their whole army, and they act very cautiously because G-Man worries them. He, as we know, is a very strong and powerful general, both in battle and in tactics, so concern about him looks completely logical. Plus, we already see how he tried to recruit Juggernaut, who in the end will most likely join the Alliance to oppose the Astro toilets. That makes him the main target for the Astro toilets, and at the same time the biggest thorn in the execution of their plan. Also, from the spoiler and the caption, tracking device, you can say with confidence that the base where the remnants of the cameramen were moving will be compromised. And since Boom already let it slip that he wanted to show Speakerman base in the extra scenes of episode 79, that means the strike will be exactly on Speakerman base, and the mothership will most likely come there again, like it was with the TV men base, and that's where the most powerful battle will take place. All the more so since many of Boom's promises for episode 79 didn't come true in the previous part, so they have to be realized in part 3. By promises, I mean the character that, as Boom said, viewers have been waiting for a very long time. And that return will obviously go to the Speakerman Titan. Who else but him can defend the base? Of course, only him. But what's also important, it's unlikely G-Man will stay on the sidelines. I already said that episode 59 and episode 69 have one important detail connecting them, the clap of the two Titans, as if showing that they stand together against enemies. Therefore, it's logical here to see Speaker Titan and G-Man, their handshake, which will already happen of their own free will, without Titan Speakerman seizing control. They've worked together before, and their duo is quite capable of beating the enemy back at least for a while or outsmarting them, considering that Armada on the other side is distracting a large part of the Astro toilets. If that happens, it's quite likely that the Duchess or the Watchman of Doom might take damage in this battle. Why do I think so? It's pretty simple. Before this, the Astro toilets were literally knocking the Alliance down one after another, destroying everything in their path, but gradually they started to lose fighters. First it was cannon fodder, then someone bigger, then fighters at Titan level, after which Juggernaut flew off for repairs. Everything points to a slowdown of the Astro toilets' attack, and gradually the Alliance is starting to seize the initiative. Yes, it's not as vividly expressed as before, it may feel long, but step by step they're moving forward. Besides, this season is ending soon, and since episode 80 and all subsequent episodes will be as powerful and hot as possible, then in the season finale, something irreparable for the Astro toilets will most likely happen. For example, the loss of an important character from their army. And right after that, in episode 80, after a loud defeat of the Astro toilets, the Duke himself may appear to deal with G-Man and the Alliance. As I said, it will be very symbolic if in episode 70, the scientist was destroyed, and in episode 80, the new target becomes the Duke. But there's one detail I want to talk about. In the spoiler, we see an open red sky, and that slightly throws off my theory about Speakerman base. The question arises, how did the agents escape from the Astro toilets in the abyss? As I said in one of my past videos, Jeffrey will clearly be unhappy about the Astros appearing in his dimension, so it's quite likely that he will stand up for the Alliance in this fight. Of course, not immediately. A few Astro toilets will get to the agents, but I think together they'll handle a couple. The only ones who can really cause problems are the Watchman and the Hunter. But it seems to me that Jeffrey will try to take on the Titan, especially since his abilities allow it. It will be very interesting to see his full form, and I may know how he might look in the series. Remember Boom's old animation? There the cameramen were shown not in the best light and tried to catch the main character of the story. And then we saw that creepy TV man. By the tentacles and behavior, to be honest, he really reminded me of Jeffrey. I think that very TV man could be the Watchman of the Dark Dimension, and agree that role fits him perfectly. All right, slight detour. It's possible that Jeffrey, distracting the Astros, will give the agents a chance to escape, and then the TV man will decide to teleport to the first place that comes up. But an Astro toilet who noticed them trying to flee could fly with him. However, just like last time, it won't be hard for the agents to deal with him, but the tracking device that's attached to many Astro toilets will give away their location, and essentially they'll end up in a trap. They can't go into the dimension because a bloodbath is going on there, and there's nowhere to run either. Therefore, the agents will be completely exposed, and the Astro toilets will arrive to finish off the remaining cameramen. But at that very moment, the base will appear, the Speakerman Titan, and possibly G-Man. In the fandom, for a long time, people didn't understand what that thing is that always flies together with the Speakermen. In episodes 61, 63, and 24, it flashed by, and there was an opinion that this is their base. However, that's not so. It's just another variation of a flying speaker, which, it turns out, is called a speaker plane. However, given that they have a huge number of such flying things, I don't rule out that their base is mobile too, like the mothership for the Astro toilets. Therefore, the remaining cameramen will still end up on Speakerman base. It's unknown how big this flying ship is and what it can do, but I think it will be able to hold the cameramen together with their containers. By the way, it's possible this ship can go into a kind of invisibility, and that's exactly why the Astro toilets couldn't detect it. If Boom is helping with G-Man's invisibility, I think he won't mind providing such tech to the Speakermen too. By the way, there's something similar in Marvel. One of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s main headquarters, there too, there was a similar ship that served as the organization's base. We put the mothership on the thumbnail for another interesting reason. In episode 77, after Polycephaly pulled out the tracking device, the mothership arrived and the large TV man found that device again. Yeah, Part 3 promises to be tough, friends. So you don't miss my breakdown of Part 3 the moment it drops, subscribe to the channel. See you later.